Hey guys, this is ACEE06, and a lot of you may be wondering why I haven't posted much content lately. Unfortunately, my camera, Lumix, that I've been using has suddenly disappeared, and it's been missing for 2 weeks, pretty much ever since I got out of school, so I haven't been able to take advantage of being out of school. And not only that, but another camera I hadn't opened yet has also mysteriously disappeared. How on earth is this happening? So it has knocked me out of action. It's a bit frustrating. In fact, it's very frustrating. And not only that, but of the content I have uploaded recently, the views have just been very disappointing. The rate of views have been absolutely disappointing, and while that would make sense during the first year that I was on YouTube, I was filming elevators, maybe a little bit in the second year, but certainly almost 4 years in, it has been very, very disappointing. And maybe it's just that I haven't gotten a complete stream, like a complete mixture of content. Some of the contributing, or I should say anti-contributing factors that have probably led to this is the fact that I live near New York City, which should be a great thing, but as practically all of you know by now, that city is just very unfriendly towards the elevator community. It not only are a gazillion places turnstiled or have front desks that won't ever respect our hobby, or so it seems, but these, like the security and or management at a lot of these places are very unfriendly, as in they may even be kind of bullies towards the elevator community. They're just nasty, and it's just, they just like keeping us out. And while they're all gonna say, oh, it's because of 9/11 and stuff, and yeah, 9/11's led to these places turning into freaking fortresses, most of them unnecessarily, but they've done it because of it's a psychiatric effect for the people who work in these buildings. They'll feel comfortable with these security, whether or not it really does anything or not, probably doesn't, but makes them feel comfortable. Now, there are a good amount of hotels that are easy to go to. Even if you have to hitch, it's still easier than the turnstile scenario or front desk. And what this means, I mean, it's the same city. You're not going to have this fortress issue in hotels, so why do office buildings do it? And I guess I'm sure it has to be the long-term making tenants comfortable. Even though, I mean, a lot of these places are tacky, it just doesn't make sense. What you're looking at when you see these turnstile buildings is a psychologically destroyed city. Yes, the physical destruction was limited to Lower Manhattan, but psychologically, it's essentially mentally destroyed city. And I mean, not only with all the turnstiles and other restrictions, but security is just nasty as can be. Or if they're not nasty, then the management's nasty. They're just very unaccommodating towards the elevator community, which limits us to basically hotels, and even some of them aren't so simple, especially certain key-carded ones. And of course, to make things even worse, a couple months ago, the Waldorf Astoria shut down, and I had already left a video on how disappointing how upsetting shockingly that could happen. The city is just, it's pretty much a city defined by two things. It's defined by terrorism, and it's defined by greed. Before 9/11, it was defined by having museums and Broadway shows and architecture. While it still has museums and Broadway shows, they've pretty much taken a back seat. And while there are a number of places of architecture, even historical places that have architecture, along with the new futuristic type of places, they are all just as pretty much as inaccessible, all in the name of terrorism and paranoia. And while, I mean, having security to keep people safe, that's not a bad thing, but for the security people to be bullies or the management to be bullies is definitely a bad thing. And at least in 90% of these places, and I may be underestimating, there's really no reason to keep elevator enthusiasts out. And if they start pulling the 9/11 card, or it's called elevator filming, has nothing to do with 9/11. It has nothing to do with it, and it's just, I mean, there's no reason, but with very rare exceptions, very, very rare, point is less than 10% of the time, and it's called there's no reason to be keeping us out. This is just a city with a lot of nasty people, psychologically destroyed, and I mean, this is just, I mean, I can't do this alone, but, and yes, I have to apologize to the community for, I know, not having more content because of this absolutely unnecessary restriction at this point. Notice the at this point. I'm trying my best to, of course, overcome this barrier, but I can't do it by myself. I have to get some help, and I mean, this is just, I mean, whenever I see videos of high-rise buildings in other cities, like let's say in Florida or Texas or on the West Coast or in Canada, I say to myself, why not here? Why not here? And because while they may, quote, be tighten security because how New York's been a terror target, and all these places kind of think they're terrorist targets just because they're located in New York, particularly Manhattan. But that does not mean they should be keeping elevator filmers out. This should stop. This nasty crap in the name of terrorism should stop. Our hobby has nothing to do with that, and it's just getting to be absolutely stupid. And of course, in addition to terrorism issues, cities become very greedy, and to where you get restricted pretty much to the, I mean, observation decks, but even they're not so easy to go to because of the high prices. And it's just, it's very, very, sorry, it's just absolutely disgusting. This city, before like the turn of the century, or it wasn't super expensive. So not only do they have this terrorist issue, but and the bullying problem, but the greediness, it's just despicable, and it needs to stop.